protecting the drug squad. Media plays part. Let me rephrase. Journalists within media houses, they are part of this in pushing certain narrative. Why I say this is because a very well-known veteran, Ziligas of Africa, had contacted me almost immediately after this incident happened of Mbangeni. It happened beginning of the year last year. I think a month or so, he contacted me. He can come here and confirm that. He called me, contacted me, said, Gerald, I'm hearing that you interfered with the police operation. And what is going on? So I explained to him the details of what transpired. He understood. Then he said, okay, well, there's some stories and there's nothing wrong. So he did not publish that. Later in the year, which I suppose maybe this why Mkhwanazi is coming to me with this, is that first General Cele calls me, he's a former minister, he calls me and he says the Premier of Gauteng have approached him to go and work in Gauteng to help him fight crime in Gauteng. Therefore, he needs General Khumalo, who is a district commissioner and ex-task force commander in KZN, to come and work with him in Gauteng. And I find it strange because I think he called 2 or 3 times. While I was in a meeting, I kept giving the phone to one brigadier, Abteles, who was with me in the meeting. And after that, I had a conversation with General Cele, and then he pleaded with me to release this general to come to Gauteng. And my surprise was, but when General Cele was in the police, he did not like that general, Khumalo. He didn't like him at all. So why now that he's out of the police, he trusts Khumalo to come and work with him in Gauteng? It was just strange. And I turned to my colleague, Jaron Kua, who was with me in a meeting. This was in Durban. Jaron Kua works at the head office from HR. So I turned to her and said, but I received a strange call here. General Cele is asking me to approach Khumalo, who's a district commissioner Zululand, to come and work with him in Gauteng, meaning he must resign from the police and go and work in Gauteng with him for 5 years, then he will come back into the police, which was very odd. And General Kua was also confused. He said, but as far as I know, Cele didn't like Khumalo. And he made all of us at the head office to believe that Khumalo is a bad person. Why will he now suddenly want Khumalo to work with him? So it was just a strange call. I then contacted General Khumalo. He's a major general. I phoned General Khumalo and said, General Khumalo, this is a request I received from General Cele. General Khumalo just laughed and he said, well, don't worry, the general is not serious about that. So I asked him, what do you mean? He said, no, he's not serious. He wants me to back off on the case against Khan, General Khan from Crime Intelligence. So Cele is pursuing Khumalo to resign from the police so that he can stay away from the disciplinary case because he was appointed to deal with that case departmentally against General Khan. So Khumalo says, no, this is the approach of Cele to want me to back off. And that got me so upset, commissioners, that can really General Cele go to the extent of wanting a person to resign from the service because he wants to protect someone? It was very strange. I did not talk to General Cele from the day. I did not talk to him. I was very upset. It disappointed me as a person who's a former minister in the police. I was just upset. Fast forward, commissioners.
Welcome back to SA Political Lens. Big allegations are emerging from recent testimony at the Madlanga Commission. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi claims that former Police Minister Bheki Cele allegedly intervened in an internal police disciplinary process to shield General Feroz Khan.
Here's what Mkhwanazi says happened. Cele allegedly asked Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo, who was leading investigations into Khan, including alleged links to criminal figures like Kat Matlala, to resign from the South African Police Service.
The pitch was for Khumalo to take up a non-police role in Gauteng for 5 years with the option to return later. But Khumalo said the request came at a moment when he was working on Khan's disciplinary case. Mkhwanazi says this looked very much like an attempt to pull Khumalo off the case.
Mkhwanazi was astonished, especially because Cele had previously been openly critical of Khumalo. To suddenly want him out of SAPS or sidelined, It raised red flags. And when Khumalo laughed off the approach, he confirmed what Mkhwanazi suspected, that Cele wanted him to back off from holding Khan to account.
That's an allegation of very serious misconduct. If what Mkhwanazi says is true, the former minister was attempting to derail internal accountability not by showing transparency, but by shifting key actors away from investigations.
Of course, these are still allegations. There's no public evidence yet proving that Cele successfully derailed the process. But the claim alone puts Cele's role in question. Was this about protecting someone, perhaps General Khan, rather than ensuring justice?
And for citizens, this matters deeply. If political leadership can quietly pull detectives or crime intelligence heads off sensitive cases, then much of what we believe about justice and accountability starts to crumble.
That's why commissions like Madlanga's are crucial. They force testimony into the open, documents to be tabled, and witnesses to be exposed. If the truth is to win, all sides need rigorous cross-examination.
So, here's what to watch for. Whether Cele responds to these claims, whether documents or witness testimony corroborate Mkhwanazi's version, and whether the internal disciplinary process against Khan proceeds without interference.
Because until that happens, questions will keep hanging. Was this a case of political protection? And if so, who really benefits when justice is delayed or derailed?
That's it for today's SA Political Lens. Stay alert, demand accountability, and remember, it's the proven evidence, not just loud accusations, that build trust in our policing system.